creating your rich life is not about the money you make. It's about the money you keep and what you do with that money that will really make a difference. You could be earning 60 or 80 grand a year, but if you don't know how to manage your money, you will just be living paycheck to paycheck. In this video, I want to share with you 5 very practical and actionable lessons from the book I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, which can help you understand how to use your money to create your version of a rich life. Hi, I'm Sabina. I'm a chartered certified accountant with 10 years of experience. And on this channel, I share knowledge and strategies about finance, entrepreneurship, and self-development. Lesson number 1 is pay off your debt. When you have a lot of debt, your money goes towards interest payments instead of savings and investments. Let's say you have $1,000 in credit card debt at 20% and $1,000 in a saving account earning 4% interest. After a year, your savings would earn you $40, but the interest on your credit card would cost you $200. That means you are actually losing $160. Your savings might grow a little, but your debt is going to grow way faster. Ramit says that to build your rich life, it's important to pay off your debt first. The first step is to understand how much debt you actually have by making a list of all your credit cards, stock cards, and personal loans, and write down the outstanding balance, interest rate, and minimum monthly payment. Then you want to focus on paying off one card at a time. The most financially optimal debt repayment strategy is the avalanche method. This is when you prioritize paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first, and all extra money goes towards that loan, and you make minimum monthly payments on all other loans. Once that debt is paid off, you move on to the next highest interest rate debt, and so on. That way, you pay less interest over time. The other debt repayment strategy discussed in a book is the snowball method. With this approach, the goal is to pay off the debt with the lowest balance first, and although it's less financially efficient, it has psychological benefits. When you pay off an entire card's debt fast, this is a big win, and it will motivate you to keep going. Getting rid of debt first is important if you want to build wealth, because it can save you thousands of dollars in interest. Lesson number 2 is spend intentionally. When it comes to money, most people don't know where their money goes or how much they are spending on different things. They end up feeling guilty about spending money because they don't actually know how much money they have left to spend, especially if they buy things using a credit card. Ramit explains that spending without a plan could be stopping you from making real financial progress. So it's important to be specific about your life's goals and values, and align your spending with your goals and plan your spending in advance. The advice in the book is to allocate your expenses into 4 categories: fixed costs, savings, investing, and guilt-free spending. Fixed costs, which are your essential needs like rent, mortgage, utilities, groceries, or transportation, should be about 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. Once you have a total for your fixed monthly costs, you should add 15% for unexpected expenses like a car or a house repair. Investments in your future, for example, pension, stock market, real estate, or any other long-term investments, should be about 10% of your paycheck. For your savings goals like holidays, house deposit, or birthday gifts, you should allocate 5 to 10% of your take-home pay. After you account for fixed costs, investments, and savings, any money you have left over goes into the guilt-free spending category, which is different for everyone, and basically it's what makes your life enjoyable and fun, like eating out or buying books. Ideally, this category will have 20 to 35% of your take-home pay. Having a plan like this and being more intentional about how you spend your money can give you confidence that you are contributing enough to your savings and investment goals. That way, you will be able to spend more on the things that you love without worrying if you can really afford it, while cutting costs on the things that are less important to you. With this approach, you are using money to create your version of a rich life. Ramit says, spend extravagantly on the things you love and cut costs mercilessly on the things you don't. Lesson number 3 is automate your finances. The idea behind lesson number 4 is that if you want to become rich, you need to automate your financial system. That means automating everything that is recurring and boring, so you don't forget to do it and you don't need to rely on motivation. Automating removes willpower and the need to remember all your login details and passwords. You are making the decision once to set up that automation, and then you can forget about it. Here is what you can automate: rent or mortgage, utility bills, credit cards, subscriptions, and transfers into savings and investment accounts. Ramit recommends to set up all your automatic transfers to happen within the first week of you getting paid. For example, if you get paid on the 1st of the month, you will know by the 7th of that month that all your bills are paid, your savings and investments are funded, and you can spend the rest of the money however you want. The goal is to make good financial decisions automatic and bad financial decisions hard. That way, good choices end up just being the path of least resistance. When you create this system, it will quietly build your wealth in the background while you focus on bigger and more important financial decisions, like investing. Lesson number 4 is invest. Most people have their money saved in a regular savings account because it gives them safety and security, because they know exactly how much they have and they can access it whenever they need. But the interest rate on your cash in your savings account is generally lower than the inflation rate, and there is a risk that the inflation will reduce the value of your money over time. That's why cash is best suited for short-term goals, and it's important to keep enough of your money in cash to cover emergencies and any known expenses within the next 5 years. This could be something like a new car, home improvements, or anything else you are saving for. But once that's done, investing can be a better option to save for long term. That's because of the power of compounding, which means that the money you invest earns interest, and then that interest also starts earning interest over time. The earlier you start investing and the longer you stay invested, the more time your investments have to grow and the more money you make, because returns compound. And the larger your initial investment is, the more the returns are going to be on that investment, and then the more the returns are going to be on the accumulated interest. When it comes to investing your money, the advice in a book is that if your financial situation is simple, you can manage your own investments, often with the same or even better result than if you hired a professional financial advisor. You can achieve this by investing in mutual funds, index funds, or target dated funds. When you invest in funds like the S&P 500 or Nasdaq 100, they hold a variety of investments within them, which will reduce your risk by spreading it across multiple companies, sectors, and industries. But before you start investing, it's important that you learn some basics of investing and understand different asset classes that will make up your investment portfolio. Your asset allocation should reflect your financial goals and risk tolerance. And this chart in a book shows recommended asset allocation by age. And this diagram from the book shows the recommended Swenson asset allocation model. Investing can be a really powerful tool when it comes to creating your own rich life. If you are just starting out, make sure you invest through tax-advantaged accounts to make your money work even harder for you. Lesson number 5 is optimize your credit cards. Ramit explains that credit cards can be a powerful tool when it comes to building your rich life because they can help you to build credit, which is a foundation for the rest of your financial life. But the key is to learn how to use them responsibly. The risk is that if you only make minimum payments 1 month instead of paying your balance in full, the interest will start accumulating on the outstanding balance at high interest rates of 14% or more. That means you can end up paying thousands in interest alone. But when you use your credit card regularly and pay the balance off in full and on time, you are essentially taking out a mini loans and paying them back on time every month. That shows lenders that you can be trusted to borrow money and pay it back, which means that the risk of losing money is lower if they give you a loan. This will improve your credit history and build a high credit score, and you will be able to get lower interest rates in the future if you decide to get larger loans like a mortgage or a car loan. This can save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest. The example in the book shows that someone with a credit score of 560 would pay over $100,000 more in interest than someone with the score of 850 over the life of the mortgage. On top of that, reward credit cards can offer certain benefits like earning cashback or traveling points or additional purchase protection. Ramit says that building a good credit can be a powerful tool, and learning to use credit cards responsibly has a profound impact on your future and can set you up for success. Those are the 5 very practical and actionable lessons I've learned from this book that I've been implementing in my life and that you can start today to create your version of a rich life. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below, and I would appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, you will love this one right here on how I manage my money on a monthly basis in a way that feels fun, and it also has a free budget tracker. I will see you there.